Shalom, his brother Yashima Zakar from the Israelite Report, IsraeliteReport.com. Upon my watch, all praises are definitely due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity, those that truly believe in what to get the hell up out of here. I want to go ahead and get Hebrews 11:1. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I remember when I was in the Christian church, this used to be one of my favorite scriptures. I used to quote it. I used to quote this scripture all the time. But it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report. Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, our power, so that things which are seen were not made, things which do appear. By faith, Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. Cain is back to this day, in this day, and he's pissed off because he lost his birthright because he came back as Esau in the reincarnation. But it says, by faith, Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death. And we're praying that we get, well, you could say translated, lifted up into the chariots, and, we could avoid this destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great. It says, by faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony, that he pleased Yahweh. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And that's what this is really going to come down to. You have to believe that you will receive your reward. And that within itself takes faith. It takes great faith. Because in this world that we live in with social media and everybody stuck in their phones, everybody on TikTok, everybody on social media showing a lavish lifestyle and showing that they're on top. And here it is, you are a man of the Lord and you believe in the Lord, but yet you're catching hell on every side. So it's going to take great faith to believe that you're going to come out on the other side victorious. I know I'm late on this, but Salakia, I know brothers have already brought this out already a million times over, and this is old news by now, but I did want to talk about it. From NPR, Trump signs an executive order to make it easier to remove homeless people from streets. Now, I wanted to bring this out because I've been watching this play for a very long time, and I've since Biden got in the White House and I saw them allowing these little nigglets to run around here and break into these stores, flash mobs with the shiesty mask on and steal shit, I said, yo, this is a play. This is a setup for something later. And I knew that the Biden administration was going to, their whole thing was to let these niggas run loose. And Trump would get back in office and then he would bring down the hammer. And that's what's about to happen. Okay? So anyway, it says here in NPR, fulfilling a campaign promise, President Trump has signed an executive order that seeks to overhaul the way the U.S. manages homelessness. And I'm bringing this out again because when you think of a homeless person, right? Be honest. When you think of a homeless person, the first thought that comes to your mind is a black man. That's important. Be honest. The first thought that comes to your mind is a black man. I'm going to keep reading this article. It says the order signed Thursday calls for changes to make it easier for states and cities to remove outdoor encampments. Watch this. Outdoor encampments and get people into mental health or addiction treatment. These are going to be what you would call re-education camps. A lot of young black men are running around the streets getting high, acting crazy. Now, you can easily make the argument that there's something mentally wrong with them. See, what Esau did was he laid a trap. This is a snare. With all of this marijuana, that the bullshit they're putting in the marijuana. You niggas that are smoking marijuana today, you're fucked. Okay, because people are lacing all types of shit in the marijuana. Anyway, it's a trap, it's a snare. Because Esau could easily make the argument that all you niggas is crazy and snatch your ass up. And it might sound like I'm just going off the deep end. You don't understand the way Esau thinks. Like I said, during the Biden administration, that whole what do they call it? Smash and grab, the flash mobs, the niggas running into these stores with the shiesty mask on. You forgot about that, but Esau didn't forget about it. I'm going to say it again. You forgot about it. Esau didn't forget about it. These white people did not, and they're so-called white people, did not forget about it. So when Trump, the Trump administration starts snatching you niggas up and saying you're mentally ill and we got to get you off the street, these white people won't have no sympathy. There were certain cities, certain towns, San Francisco, LA. I remember reading news articles back in like 2022, and I keep going back to 2022. 2022, 2023, I remember there was one report during Christmas where I believe it was LA, the Los Angeles Police Department had put out a statement saying they can't guarantee your safety. And people were leaving their doors unlocked, their car doors unlocked, just to show that they didn't have anything in their car, because niggas were breaking into their cars to take shit out of it. I witnessed several uh, uh, situations where I just seen, because I worked the night shift, and I would see niggas breaking into cars right in front of me. Just breaking into cars, random cars, just pulling up. Esau hasn't forgotten that. Okay? I want to read this little piece again. It says, the order signed Thursday calls for changes to make it easier for states and cities to remove outdoor encampments, and that could be considered, your gangbangers that are sitting around not doing shit. You have to think like Esau. See, you think about homeless people, and yeah, that's true. But also think about the little gangbanging ass niggas that just standing around not doing shit. They can get their ass snatched up too. The same way Esau said, Trump, the Trump administration said that you had violent, illegal immigrants, right? That had committed all sorts of violent acts, and they were going to get deported and hauled off to these prisons. Well, it turns out they're snatching up, ICE is snatching up people that are here by legal means. People that are on student visas, working visas, snatching them up too. It says the order signed Thursday calls for changes to make it easier for states and cities to remove outdoor encampments and get people into mental health or addiction treatment. This it says that includes involuntary, again, that includes involuntary civil commitment for those who are a risk to themselves or others. Think about all the Pookies and the Ray Rays and the gang banging ass niggas. It says here in the quote, endemic vagrancy, disorderly behavior, sudden confrontations, and violent attacks have made our cities unsafe, the order states. Critics said the sweeping actions does nothing to solve homelessness and could make it worse. It says in the quote, and this came from Jesse Rabinowitz. I believe that's a small hat. He says, in a quote, this executive order is forcing people to choose between compassionate, data-driven approaches like housing or treating it like a crime to have a mental illness or be homeless. End quote. Well, they don't see, the devil is coming down with great wrath. Satan is coming down with great wrath. He knows that he got but a short time. And he's about to roll on Jake in a way that Jake never thought he would. Because Jake think he out of slavery. Okay? And they can deem you as being mentally ill. Matter of fact, let me not do that. Let me finish this article off, at least the key points. It says in another quote from Ann Olivia from the National Alliance to End Homelessness. This is what she said in a statement. Institutionalizing people with mental illness, including those experiencing homelessness, is not a dignified, safe, or evidence-based way to serve people's needs. Institutionalized. relocated, right, to a re-education camp. They're going to label certain people as mental patients. And that's a slick way for Esau to lock your ass up and make people forget about you. And by the way, brothers, they could do that to us. To the brothers that are preaching his word and teaching his word, they could easily just slap that label on us and say we're crazy. We're mental patients. These black folks are saying that they're the Hebrew Israelites. They're crazy. They're mental. They need re-education. But you can see that this Trump administration, the second Trump administration, is moving at warp speed. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to get this. Everybody knows this scripture, but I want to get it anyway. 1 Peter 4:17, it says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God, Yahweh?" Okay? You got niggas running around here calling themselves Israelites that are saying that there will be no Jacob's trouble, or Jacob's trouble has already passed. And let that sink in. This devil was coming down with great wrath. He's showing all the signs that he's going to roll on you, Israelites. He's going to roll on you. He's going to make his move. Yet niggas is calling themselves Israelites and telling you there's no Jacob's trouble. I believe it was ISUPK that said Jacob's trouble was gay. Some bullshit they said. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll say I'm wrong. But I believe it was I can't remember exactly who it was that said it. But one of them niggas said Jacob's trouble was gay or some bullshit like that. They're not warning you of what's to come. The president of the United States, who was a fucking puppet, by the way, he's nothing but a puppet. But even though he's a puppet, he still has the power of the pen to sign these executive orders. That executive order is a move on you, on Jacob. Because like I said before, when you think of a homeless person, the first thing that comes to your mind is a black man. So who do you think that executive order was for? Who was it targeting? For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, we got to enter in through the straight gate. This shit is getting ready to it's about to get nasty. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to, put this out there. I don't know. This shit could get shut down. Take heed to the warning now. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, the righteous are scarcely going to be saved, just barely making it in. Where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Yeah, they're going to get cut off. I forget the exact wording, but the scripture said there'll be more of them which perish than them that will be saved. Y'all know me. I'm forgetful. I can't remember where it's at offhand. But anyway, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, this is the straight gate. This is you walk in that path. You can't be moving too far to the left or too far to the right. You got to walk straight down this narrow path. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah commit the keepings of their souls to him in well doing, as unto a faithful creator. All right, we have to understand that these niggas that are calling themselves Israelites and scoffing at the idea of a Jacob's trouble, they're going to get caught up in this storm. And I always talk about the calm before the storm. These niggas about to get caught up in the storm. I'm going to tell you a personal testimony right quick, real fast. I was going to my other place. I have my main place with me and my woman, but I do have a secondary place. And for the moment anyway. And I was going there, and it started raining. I caught the train. It started raining and thunderstorming, and I I went underneath the where the garage where the people park, and I was sitting there waiting for the rain to stop or slow down a little bit, right? And I got impatient. And I always talk about my patience. That's I always say I gotta remember to be patient. So my dumb ass, my stupid ass, saw that it slowed down just a little bit. But there were other people. There were other people. I'm being honest with you. There were other people that were like, no, I'm not stepping out there yet. So anyway, I said, you know what? I'll walk it. I can walk. I think it's about a 17-minute walk. I'll walk it. I'll take my chances. It slowed down enough for me. Man, I got almost halfway there. Not even quite halfway, but almost halfway. And it poured on my ass. And I was mad as shit. I never felt rain that hard before. It was raining so hard. My umbrella was flying sideways. I was mad as shit. I can laugh about it now, but I was mad. I was like, God damn. Because it is funny because I always talk about me being, kind of impatient. It's something that I always have to pray on. But the Lord got me real good. I mean, good. I was soaked. So I never been that soaked in my life. But anyway, enough of my rambling. I'm saying that to say that you have, certain Israelites that think there's no Jacob's trouble coming. Same way I thought I could step out into that rain. Oh, the rain had kind of slowed down a little bit. I can make it, 17 minutes or so, 15, 17 minutes. I'll be all right. And I got caught up in that storm. It was bad too. Horrible. Bad. Worse than what I'm describing. Well, that's what's going to happen to a lot of these niggas. While they're over there having an Israelite party, right? Showing off their wives and shit. Having these extravagant Passovers. Not warning the people, not warning the flock, not feeding the flock, not telling them shit. At least give them warning. Ezekiel tells you that. Give the people warning for me. At least give the people like, hey, you better turn to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, have faith and believe and walk in this righteous path, so you could be in somewhat good standings with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because a lot of just being honest, none of us are perfect, but we at least did the best we could do in this flesh, in this wicked flesh that we're in. But no, 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 no. They got it all together. Ain't no Jacob's trouble coming according to them. Meanwhile, Esau has you in his sights. He has a bullseye, that targeted bullseye right in the center of your forehead. I want to get this in the news real quick. This came from USA Today. It says cyber attack in St. Paul, which is Minnesota. Cyber attack in St. Paul under investigation, not a system glitch. It says the city of St. Paul has become the latest target of a cyber attack targeting essential systems and digital services over the weekend. It says in response, the city's IT systems were shut down on July 28th to isolate the city's infrastructure from potential damage, according to Mayor Melvin Carter. So what's happening? They had some sort of, or at least they're saying they had some sort of cyber attack. And that's one of the things that I've been waiting on. I know Esau is going to pull this one at some point. Of course, the false flags, I always talk about that. But the cyber attacks, I believe that's going to come as well. And I do believe Esau is planting the seeds, as always. I always say this, to get you used to this idea that America is facing some threat from outside of the U.S., some foreign threat, as far as cybersecurity is concerned. Now, back to this article, it says, in a quote, "This was not a system glitch or technical error. This was a deliberate, coordinated digital attack carried out by a sophisticated external actor, intentionally and criminally targeting our city's information infrastructure." That's what the mayor said. That was at a news conference on Tuesday, July the 29th. And by the time I release this, you will have already heard about it. So this is, this caught my attention. I believe this guy, Dabu Seven, he brought this out, and just understand that as we move forward and time is running out, this devil knows that he has but a short time. You're gonna start seeing this ramped up. And I keep saying this over and over. You're gonna have a time. We're coming into this time when all of these conspiracy theories, they're gonna be right in your face every day. All of a sudden. All right. So you've been hearing about a cyber attack coming. Klaus Schwab, before he stepped down from the World Economic Forum, mentioned the cyber attack, the scenarios, and how deadly a cyber attack would be. He actually said it would be worse than a 2020 pandemic. And I say this all the time. Esau, the elites of Esau, they have a full deck of cards in their hand, and they're just picking and choosing which one they're going to play, even though really it's the Lord that's playing with them, because he has a set time for when they're going to actually activate or even play these cards that are in their hands. That's why I say stay prayed up, stay in prayer. It says here in the article, it says an investigation is underway to address the ongoing threat, and Carter, which is the mayor of St. Paul, he has declared a state of emergency in St. Paul. Officials are collaborating with local, state, and national law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, to investigate the source and extent of the breach, according to the mayor's office. He says, going further into the article, it says the mayor did not speculate on the motive for the attack and didn't know if any ransom was demanded. In other news, Elon Musk posted this on X. He says the path to solving hunger, disease, and poverty is AI and robotics. So this is the solution that Esau is offering. Even though Elon himself could feed the entire world, this shows you that this is the wicked, right? The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Say that all the time, but instead of actually feeding the poor, the less fortunate, people that are, they always show these videos of these starving children in Africa. Instead of them actually doing something about it and feeding them, their answer is AI and robotics. Their answer is the mark of the beast, leading you right to the microchip. That's what they're leading you towards. Problem, reaction, solution, order out of chaos. This is what Esau does. He could easily, the Rothschilds, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, they could easily feed everybody in the world. And as far as disease is concerned, they're creating the disease with these shots and what they're putting in the food. But yet, their solution is AI, artificial intelligence, and robotics. That's going to be the savior. So they have a new Messiah they want you to bow to, a new God they want you to worship. But yet, we're called crazy, conspiracy theorists, everything under the sun. But look at their answers. Look at their solution. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. Artificial intelligence, more surveillance, putting a microchip in you. This guy, Yuval Noah Harari, said that human beings are hackable animals. This is their solution. RFK Jr. is talking about making people put on wearables so they can track and trace you. And again, for the umpteenth time, 60 Minutes ran a special with someone from the Pentagon saying that they have a health monitor that they want to implant or place under your skin. So instead of just, taking out the GMOs, stop the weather modification and the cloud seeding, right? And the chemtrails, instead of just doing that, their answer is artificial intelligence and robotics. I do want to get this real fast. It's on my mind. Revelation 11 and 18, it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Because you have niggas running around here saying that everybody can be saved, Esau can be saved. But yet, since Esau has taken over rulership, evils have multiplied in the earth. Wickedness has multiplied because of this devil. And really, this is a cut to them that say Esau can be saved. Because they love to say, the New Testament, they try to, a lot of these niggas, they try to claim that Esau can be saved because the New Testament, they try to say, Yahweh Shai, but they say Jesus came to save everyone, and anyone that believe in him can be saved. And we tell them, no, that's amongst the Israelites. But they're hell-bent on saving Esau. But the scriptures, Revelation 11:18, tell you that he's going to destroy, the Lord is going to destroy them which destroy the earth. And who's destroying the earth? Who's in rulership and destroying the earth in these last days? In the end times, who's destroying the earth? Esau. It ain't Jake. Jake can't rule their own goddamn household. So yeah, this devil has to go down. And as simple as this is to us, because there's this, the simplicity of Yahweh Shai, it's not difficult for true believers to understand. And those that have been blessed with the eyes to see, the ears to hear. But it's difficult impossible for those who the Lord did not choose, for those that the Lord did not select. Second Ezra 6 and 7, it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And this is about timeline. That's another thing. The mystery with the scriptures is understanding the timeline. What time are we in? Who's in rulership? A lot of niggas have a hard time understanding that, right? It says, When shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Eighth verse says, And he said unto me, From Abraham to Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So they were already struggling, fighting in the womb. Ninth verse says, For Esau is the end of the world. So niggas is sitting here. There's certain niggas that'll say, we're in the last days. This has to be the end of the world. We're near the end of the world. But yet they can't see that it's Esau that's in rulership, because a lot of these Christian niggas, Jakes, they believe that Esau has been done away with or destroyed already. And they have a hard time understanding that Esau is in rulership right now. Esau is fitted to be destroyed at the end of the world. This time period. His world is getting ready to come to an end. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Let me get this in Psalms. This is Psalms 75 and 7. It says, But Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. And Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Okay? Babylon has served its purpose. America has served its purpose. These small hats have served their purpose. It says, For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. There's going to be great death coming. Okay? Our enemies are they're going to drink of that cup that they poured to us. Ninth verse says, But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob, the power of Jacob, Yahweh. And it says, 10th verse, All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Okay? So, in order for the earth to get back into its natural state, I'll say it that way, Esau has to be brought down. The wicked has to be brought down. All of the problems I don't give a damn what it is. Even the little Pookies and Ray Rays and the dumbass niggas walking around with their shiesty masks and their pants hanging down, it still goes back to Esau. Esau paid these rappers to push murder, that murder music, that thug life. Esau is the number one culprit. He's responsible for all of this shit. And because he believes in problem, reaction, solution, he created these problems. The people react to it and say, we need to do something about it. And what's his answer? Robotics, artificial intelligence. Let that rule over you. Let that be your God. I've even heard, actually, I read an article about maybe 3 years ago. They're toying with the idea, and I'm talking about the government, the idea of having robotics, artificial intelligence, I should say, rule over the people, even in the court systems. Like artificial intelligence is going to determine whether you're guilty or innocent. This is a real thing. It sounds crazy, but it's a real thing. Also, they have something called pre-crime. You know, you watch the movie Minority Report. They want to be able to tap into your mind and determine whether or not you're going to commit a crime or not. So again, in case you forgot what I was ranting about, Elon Musk, who some of these people worship and look at as a god, this is what he wrote on X: the path to solving hunger, disease, and poverty is AI and robotics, because that's been the long-term game, the long-term game plan all along, putting a microchip in you. So let me get this in Ezekiel 13:1. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of the Lord. Right? They're prophesying out of their own heart, and they're not being truthful, right? Because they're not being guided by the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. They're just telling you anything. Ain't no Jacob's trouble, according to them. Right? That's what they're saying. It says, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. And I've actually seen desert foxes when I was in Kuwait. I forget what we used to call them something. It's like desert dogs, but it was another word. We used to feed them, matter of fact. They were cool. They would walk right up to you. We'd feed them. But not these prophets, though. It says, 5th verse, ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord saith, and the Lord have not sent them. That you got niggas saying that Esau can be saved. The Lord never said that shit. That's vanity, lying divination, speaking out of their own heart, speaking from their own heart. It says the Lord saith, and the Lord have not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. And a lot of people are doing that. Oh, I like this nigga right here. I like this brother. Him speaking what I like to hear. Shut your whole ass up. I can't stand you niggas, man. Anyway, 7th verse says, have ye not seen a vain vision? And have ye not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, the Lord saith, albeit I have not spoken. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies. Therefore, behold, I am against you, saith the Lord power, Yahweh. And mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel, neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall not, and you shall know that I am the Lord, your power, Yahweh. Okay, because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace. So anytime you hear a nigga saying there's no Jacob trouble coming, there's no Jacob coming, no Jacob's trouble coming, there, shit, that passed already. Them niggas is speaking peace, and you know what the scriptures say about peace and safety, right? Because there's a time for peace, and then there's a time for war. God ain't just love all the time. Anyway, it says, because they have seduced my people, and this is a lie that they've told you. They've seduced you, used witchcraft, lied to you for monetary gain, to make that money, telling you smooth things, speaking smooth things, lies. Because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace. And one built up a wall, and lo, others daubed, I hope I said it right, daubed it with untempered mortar. Say unto them which daub it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall, right? Because they did not build it up properly, right? Houses made of sand, say it that way. That it shall fall, there shall be an overflowing shower, and ye, O great hailstones, shall fall, and a stormy wind shall rend it. Yeah, the calm before the storm. And the Lord is about to bring the real storm.